What's going on, Scream fans? So, I know everybody's been asking the same questions. Everybody's been wondering the same thing since the success of Scream 6. So, keep in mind, the first Scream film did about 173 million at the box office. The second one did 172 million. And the third one got about 161.8. The fourth and the fifth ones got relatively, much lower than that. The sixth one right now is still in theaters, but it's already at 161.6. So my prediction is it's going to surpass the third movie at the box office. So why do I say this? Why am I bringing this up? Well, with that being said, people are already asking the same question. When is Scream 7 going to be released? So, and I'm just as eager as you are, and I will see it the weekend that it gets released. Now, here's a few articles that I'm looking at right here. According to Inverse, will there be a Scream 7? Everything we know so far about the slasher sequel. For almost 30 years now, Ghostface has been carving through the box office and bumbling into our hearts. And if there was any question whether the meta whodunit slasher franchise had lost its sting, Scream 6 has put a knife in it. This new era of the series, spearheaded by directors Matt Bettinelli and Tyler Gillette, better known as the dynamic duo Radio Silence, launched a requel installment that felt almost too beholden to the tried and true formula established by franchise creator and legend Wes Craven. Scream 6, while still honoring that enormous legacy, finds some fresh ideas and a unique voice in the Big Apple, along with all the brutal kills and shocking betrayals a sadistic fan could ask for. Blah, blah, blah. What is the Scream 7 release date? As of right now, Scream 7 hasn't been officially green-lit, which means there's no release date just yet. However, fans shouldn't have to wait long for some kind of official announcement, as Scream 6 is currently still raking in cash during its second week. It's also a safe bet to assume that Radio Silence will be returning, but if they weren't for some bizarre, unforeseen reason, the filmmakers themselves are confident in the franchise's future. We want to be watching Scream movies whether we're involved or not for the rest of our lives, they said to Deadline earlier this month. Now, the reason I said 2 weeks is because, Scream 6 was released on March 10th of this year, and this article came out March 24th. So that's why it said 2 weeks. Now, as iconic as the image of Ghostface is to the franchise, the real star of Scream has always been the mystery. So predicting exactly what will happen in Scream 7 is a bit of a fool's errand. Scream 6 ends with Sam and Tara brutally executing each of the three killers. This time around, I'm not going to say who those three killers are, but it says it right here, but I'm going to not spoil it just in case to those of you who haven't seen it yet. While the movie leaves no doubt about their fates, it does once again raise the question of Sam's psychosis and whether or not the vision she has of her father, Billy Loomis, will result in our final girl putting on the white mask next time around. Both Scream 5 and 6 have been love letters to the movies that mirror them in the original trilogy with 1 and 2 respectively, which means that there's also the possibility of 7 borrowing from the divisive third film. It's hard to see the writer stealing Scream 3's outlandish secret brother revenge plot, but considering that the Carpenter sisters haven't had their own inverse stab movie yet, it would be interesting to see how they deal with the sleaze and showmanship of Hollywood. Who will be in Scream 7? The Scream franchise is one of those rare slashers where the foundational group of survivors gets to return and become fan favorites, and Scream 6 preserves this tradition by keeping their core 4 alive. That means at the very least we can expect to see Sam, Tara, Chad, and Mindy, played by Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, Mason Gooding, and Jasmine Savoy, respectively, make an appearance in the next film, although the likelihood of them all making it out the next one alive is slim to none. Wow. That sounds like at least one of them is going to get cut, get knocked out. It's going to be killed. We don't know who yet, and we're already on edge about who's that going to be and why is that going to be the case. Blah, blah, blah. On top of our Woodsboro survivors, Scream 6 saw the return of both Gail Weathers and fan favorite Kirby Reed, played by Courtney Cox and Hayden Panettiere, who hasn't seen Kirby we haven't seen since Scream 4. Both of them survive in the most recent installment, and while the series has reached a point where it can continue without its legacy characters, the door is always open for a successful return from each one of them, as well as the ever-beloved final girl, Sydney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell. Now, this one right here says, all the Scream 7 news so far. This was posted by Austin Goslin in Polygon. A lot of this is saying the same thing. Will there be a Scream 7? Probably, but it's not confirmed. When will it be released? We don't know. Will Jenna Ortega be in the 7th one? Probably, most likely. Who else will be in Scream 7? The core 4. Now, also according to the fandom page, because every show, movie, and video game has a fandom page, fandom, Wikia, not to be confused with Wikipedia, although it's very similar. It says right here, Scream 7 is an upcoming slasher film that was officially announced to be in development on March 6th of 2023. The film serves as a sequel to Scream 6. It also serves as the 7th installment in the Scream franchise. Principal photography will commence in 2023. No release date has been announced. However, it is expected to be released in 2024. And see, I'm kind of glad to see that because they might have anticipated the success of the 6th movie because the 6th movie was released on the 10th. The 7th movie already started production on the 6th. So they already started production. And to me, that's rare. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But that's rare that happens for a horror film series. I don't think they did that with, Jason, Freddy, Mike Myers. Well, Mike Myers is a maybe because Halloween Ends came out the year right after Halloween Kills. But as far as Chucky, as far as some of those other movies, you're talking Sinister. All that. I don't think they've done that with that. So, this is another reason to me why this series kind of sticks out on top of the meta references. Now, so that I'm just going to claim it right now. I'm going to claim that it's been confirmed. There is going to be a Scream 7. And, of course, that website, along with one other, is probably the only two that's confirming it. But as far as my prediction, I think that we're going to see the return of the core 4, Sam, Tara, Chad, and Mindy. Will Kirby be in the next one? Maybe. Are we going to see the return of Gail Weathers? She's been there since the beginning, so I'm assuming so. As far as Neve Campbell playing Sydney, we still don't know. And for all I know, she may not even know yet. Who knows? But we know that she didn't do the 6th movie for reasons that I state in another video, which is there was a salary dispute and she felt that they weren't paying her a good enough amount of money. So she decided not to go with that, and that's fine. But a lot of the fans are really begging for her to come back, so we'll see how that goes. So, so people, that's kind of what we know at this point, production development. In interviews conducted for Scream 6, Matt Bettinelli and Tyler Gillette revealed that they have hopes that Neve Campbell would return for the future, and that conversations with her have happened. On March 6th of 2022, Screen Geek confirmed that a 7th film had officially been greenlit. Production is set to begin in 2023, with Paramount Pictures hoping to have the same turnaround time as Scream 6. Production for the 7th one. This film was officially announced. So, and see, I had no idea that they were even talking about that from 2022, because March of 2022 was 2 months after the 5th film came out. The 5th one, which was also great, by the way. So, people, I'm just throwing that out there. So, Scream 7, hopefully it's going to be released by 2024. One source said maybe possibly 2025, but hopefully we don't have to wait that long. So, we'll get more details on that soon enough.